how to build an easy flower farm in Minecraft. These are resources you will need for this flower farm. Okay, so the first step to this flower or dye farm is to place yourself out 2 temporary blocks going upwards, 1, 2, then place yourself out a grass or dirt block on top of those 2 blocks, like that. Then you can destroy those 2 bottom blocks. After you've done this, place another temporary block on top of that block, and then place another grass block going out from that block. This can be any of the sides, and then go to the opposite side of where you just placed that second grass block, and then place another grass block, like this. Then you can destroy that temporary block. And after you've done this, expand these dirt blocks by 2 more dirt blocks going outwards, like this. Then after you've done that, expand the 3 grass blocks we have right here by 3 more to the right. 1, 2, 3. Do the same on these 3. 1, 2, 3, like that. And head to the other side and expand this by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that on all of these. Also on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that pretty much. Then after you've done that, expand this by 1 more out, but instead of using dirt or grass, you will have to use a solid block, like for example smooth stone, like this. Then after you've done that, you will need to build yourself out a temporary block line going 2 blocks back, destroy the first block, and then you will have to place 3 more blocks like that. Then place 3 pistons while looking at those blocks going into these blocks. Then you can of course destroy those temporary blocks. So now you should have pistons looking into these blocks, which are right behind the grass block. Do the same on this side, so pretty much place 3 blocks right there, simple as you can place pistons, like that. Then you will have to go to this side and do something similar, but right here you will have to build yourself 3 blocks instead of 2. So 1, 2, 3, destroy these 2 blocks, expand this block line pretty much to the end of here, then place yourself at 3 pistons right here. There should be a 1 block gap between the pistons and these blocks. Do the same right here pretty much, then destroy the blocks behind there. Then after you've done that, what you will have to do now is go under pistons, place yourself at the block, expand this by 1 block going backwards, and then pretty much build a wall of blocks going all around the outside of this farm. This also includes the outside of the pistons, something along the lines of this. So what I'm going to do now is head to the right side of the farm, which is right here, and I'm going to place the lever right here, which is pretty much how I'm going to be turning the farm on and off. Then I'm going to be placing a repeater right here, which is right next to the piston. I'll be turning this onto 2 ticks, and then I'll be placing redstone right behind here going to the other side, so all the pistons are connected. I'll also be placing 1 redstone dust right behind where this repeater is, and I'll do the same on this side. So I'll place the repeater right here, redstone dust right here, and then more redstone dusts right here. Also remember to turn this repeater onto 2 ticks, so pretty much tap on it once. Then after we have done this, we're going to head under the farm right here, and what we will have to do now is place yourself out a block right here, and then a redstone torch on top of that block, pretty much like that. Then you will pretty much have to turn around, go to the other side of the farm, place another block right here, and then a redstone torch right here. And now this should start going back and forth, as you can see if you did that correctly. This is of course because if I turn this off quickly by flicking the lever, what happens here is that pretty much this redstone torch, whenever these pistons are extended this way, this redstone torch will send a signal into this block, which then powers the redstone dust. And that's pretty much what's happening over here. So the reason why this redstone is activated is because this redstone torch right here sends a signal into this block. So if I remove this block, as you can see, the redstone turns off. I replace it and the redstone turns on. So this is pretty much how the farm will be going back and forth, and how we will be breaking all of the flowers that will be spawning. So anyways, we can now continue to turn this off temporarily because we have a few more things to do in the middle right here. And also I just realized, if you look here, there is something that's off-centered. This grass block is a little bit or 1 block too much to this side, so simply move it right here or 1 block in, like that. So pretty much show you how this would be. If you place a block on top of that block right there, we should be able to place 3 glass blocks right here and then 4 on the other side, or opposite, pretty much like that. So anyways, the next step is then to place 3 temporary blocks on top of this block we have right there, destroy the bottom 2, place yourself out a dispenser looking down towards this block with 1 block gap between there. Then you can destroy this top block. Then pretty much from here, place yourself out a hopper going into that dispenser with then 2 chests, or at least 1 chest on top of that hopper. This is pretty much how we're going to be supplying Bonemeal into this dispenser, which of course will then power a flower we have right here. So before we continue, let me quickly show you how this works. So we're going to be placing the flower we want right here, then we're going to load up this chest with Bonemeal. Let's say I use a stack of it. Then you can turn the farm off right here, or turn it on, and of course once we have sent a redstone signal into this dispenser, what will happen is that the dispenser will shoot of course Bonemeal onto this flower, and it will grow flowers on top of this dirt platform or grass platform we have right here. So now that we have loaded up the dispenser with Bonemeal, let's do that. So anyways, what we're going to do now is build ourselves out a wall around this farm. Now I'm going to be using glass simply because I like watching the inside farms to make sure everything's working, but you can build this out of whatever blocks you want. So anyways, firstly head to the right side of this and place yourself out glass blocks on top of these blocks right here. Go one out, then expand this until you get to the other side of the farm. Then you will have to place glass blocks on top of the dirt blocks we have right here, then expand this around and simply link it up on the other side. So pretty much now from the dispenser we should have 3 blocks going in each way. So if I place 3 blocks right here and 3 blocks right here, then this is correct. So now what we have to do is place yourself out 3 glass blocks right here or any other kind of block and 2 blocks right here, and then you will have to link up the redstone ideally down here up to where the dispenser is. So we're also gonna have to place yourself out some blocks right here, of course, then simply run the redstone up here, and of course because the chest is right here we're gonna have to destroy one of the chests and then place yourself out the redstone dust on top of that chest. And as you can see, once we did that, some flowers will appear here. So now the farm is almost done. We of course have the collecting system to build if you want to have that, and some other things to mention that is important for the farm. But now the main idea of the farm is done. So if I turn on the farm right now, as you can see, it's starting to spawn flowers, and obviously they're being pushed back and forth. And if we just pause it right now, it should have used about 20 bone meal. Yeah, around 20 bone meals. If I pick up all these flowers, we can see that just from those 20 bone meals we have gotten 3 stacks of flowers, which is pretty cool. Now I tested this out, and after about 1 stack of bone meal I ended up getting around 9 stacks of flowers, which is pretty cool. Now one quick thing I recommend about this farm is that sometimes flowers might land on top of here or on top of the walls on the side right here, which obviously can result in some loss of flowers. So if you want, I would also highly recommend that you build yourself out a roof above this farm, or if you don't want to have a roof you can always just build yourself a wall around here. But of course you have to do some changes right here, so you're gonna have to make the redstone go up a bit more like this. But if you want to, you can also have a solid block right here which sends a signal into that. So if I now start the farm it will still work, as you can see. So anyways, now the farm's pretty much done unless you want to have a collecting system. So if you want to build that, continue watching. So when it comes to the collecting system, you will most likely not need a collecting system here because you can simply jump in and collect it yourself like I just did. However, having a collecting system can be pretty great. So let me show you how to do that. So to do that you will have to head under farm, and pretty much from here we will have to block off certain areas of this farm. So we will need to figure out where the glass line goes. That's right here, so we're going to block off right here. We're going to do the same on this side. The glass line goes right here under these dirt blocks, so I'm going to block off this. So now again we should have 3 blocks going out from this block right here. Same on the other side, 1 2 3, and now we're going to have to start the collecting system. So the way I'm going to do that here is by finding one side to place my chests in. I'm just going to do it on this side because I have the lever here. So what I'm going to have to do is place chests under these blocks. So 1 2 3 chests if I want to, then 1 gap between them, and then more chests. And then what I want to do right here is place hoppers on top of those chests going in, and then from here build hoppers going backwards until you reach the other side, pretty much like this. So anyways, now that I've started building it on one side, I'm going to do it on the other side in a minute, but let me just show you how this works. So obviously we will need to pick up flowers, so we are going to do that using hopper minecarts. So what you will have to do now is place 1 hopper minecart on top of each of these hoppers. So how do you do that? Well, you start by placing a rail right here, and then you also place a minecart on top of that rail. Then you destroy that rail, ideally simply because it makes it a bit easier. Then you can place another rail right here, another minecart on top of there, destroy that railing. Do the same right here, railing, try to destroy that minecart. Sorry, railing, I mean, a bit hard, but it's definitely doable. Now one quick thing is that if I try to place a railing right here with a minecart on top of it, it might get pushed out. There's a simple fix for that. Place some blocks right here, minecart, destroy the railing, another railing, minecart, destroy the railing, another railing, minecart, destroy the railing. This might be a bit hard, but you can do that pretty easily. Destroy the minecart instead, boom, like that. Then just destroy the blocks, move them 1 block over, and continue doing this process. So now I've done this again on the other side, as you can see, and yeah, that's pretty much the farm. Now I'm going to show this in a minute, but quickly, one thing that is important to say is that you can obviously change this flower with whatever flower you want. So let's say I want to use this flower instead, which gives you light gray dye. You can simply head up here, replace the dye with this, or if you don't want to head under here, you can also stand on top of the farm, jump into here, and replace it from the little room we have under here, which is also pretty easy. Now if you're going to be doing it from the top, what I would also recommend, just so you don't push the minecarts out, is to simply place some blocks right here, just to make it a bit cleaner and stuff like that. And now the farm is pretty much done. Now I'm going to use these leaves instead, sorry, these flowers instead. So what I'm going to do is grab myself 1 stack of bone meal. I'm going to remove the bone meal we have here, fill it up with just 1 stack just to show you how powerful this farm is. Head down here, turn it on, and now the farm will start producing and growing flowers, as you can see.
A few moments later.
And boom, now the farm is out. So what we can do now is turn off this lever to just turn off the farm, head into these chests, and as you can see I have 1 in my inventory, but here we got almost 1 stack. We had 1.5 stack here. This chest we pretty much have 2 stacks, although a few more are coming in, so we can pick those up in a minute. But here we have a little over 2 stacks. This chest 1.5 stack, this chest we have almost a stack. So now we can grab a few more from here, boom, a few more from here, not there. But anyways, so now if I bring these down into my inventory, you can see that we got pretty much 9 stacks and 18 flours from just 1 stack of bone meal, which is pretty good. So that means that if I open up a calculator right here quickly just to show you, so 9 stacks of bone meal times 64, and then I obviously have to plus in the 18 extra, that is almost 600 flours. So if I then divide this by 64, because 64 bone meal, this means that on average I'm getting 9 flours per bone meal, and obviously getting 9 flours per 1 bone meal you use is pretty good. So anyways, that is pretty much it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them down below and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.